All right, y'all. Let me make sure YouTube is connecting. We are back. And it is this woman tried Judge Bryant. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I will have critique and commentary throughout the video. Shout out to who is this? Who is this? Dark. I'm gonna have them linked in the description box, but I'm gonna look for their name too. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Don't interrupt Judge Bryant is the overall lesson. Here we go.
For an opportunity to just kind of let things calm down a little bit. So I guess my first observation, Your Honor, and I have had the opportunity, and Ms. Jackson has had the opportunity here with Ms. Vincent has had to say about the incident, but I just don't believe, Your Honor, that regardless of what's happening with the felony case, if the events had transpired in a way more consistent after.
You know what? Let me explain the premise of the case. Okay, hold on. Let me point out the people. I thought about that. Let me get y'all oriented. Okay, so we have the prosecutor in the top left, of course, Judge Bryant in the middle, public defender, attorney Janice Stevenson. Then we have the defendant, Michelle Jackson, who apparently was rolling her eyes earlier at Judge Bryant. And then we have she is the victim giving like an impact statement. The heat is going to come for the person giving the impact statement later, or that gave it already. That part's already happened, and now we're here. So they have like a neighborly dispute going on, argue, turn into disorderly conduct type stuff. So that's the background.
With what the victim has testified to, I don't know that the people would have made themselves the people in this courtroom would have made themselves party to the global resolution, Your Honor, landing us where we are today. I do believe that, review of the video surveillance by the people, in consultation with the victim, Your Honor, led the people to make the offer that they made to not only reduce or dismiss the more serious misdemeanor charges, Your Honor, but to dismiss the felony charge as well. As Ms. Vincent has alluded to, there has been ongoing conflict between these parties, Your Honor. Much of that conflict, Your Honor, resulting in Ms. Vincent receiving, some having been on the receiving end of police contact, Judge. So Ms. Jackson is here to accept responsibility, as she stated in her description of the offense, for being in a public place, at a gas station, getting into this loud argument with the complainant, and she's indicated that that's where it landed. I hate these neighborhood dispute cases, Judge, because it's so hard to just muddle my way as defense counsel through them. But we are where we are, and where we are right now is at disorderly conduct. And that Ms. Jackson has admitted to behavior which is consistent with that charge. And the incident does not happen in a vacuum. Ms. Jackson has been inordinately, in terms of where we are in court, animated, and I believe she's adjusted her behavior. That behavior that was not directed at the court, is directed at the volatile situation that we hope has come to an end. I just hope that these people are going to be able to, if they're going to live around each other, that they'll be able to live around each other peacefully. But Ms. Jackson, at this point, Your Honor, does stand convicted of disorderly conduct. And that is after the felony prosecutor and the misdemeanor prosecutor had an opportunity to look at their cases and make a decision as to what the evidence would allow them to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. And they've landed at disorderly conduct. That's behavior that Ms. Jackson has admitted to. And I haven't, again, I don't know if I overlooked it or what, but I didn't see a plea agreement that talked about restitution. So I didn't talk to my client about that, Your Honor, but Ms. Vinson would not be without remedy. She would have an opportunity to present her case in civil proceedings and try at that point to use whatever evidence is available to her to substantiate her claim for restitution. But Ms. Jackson has pled guilty to being in a loud argument with Ms. Vinson, and I believe that the people, based upon their global resolution, agree with that. So I would ask the court to not do restitution at this time, Your Honor. I would ask the court to forgive Ms. Jackson for her behavior this morning, which was earlier this morning, which was really inappropriate. Her frustration is not directed at this court. That frustration is directed at this entire situation. And I think that everybody, including myself, would be able to benefit from some anger management. So I don't think that's going to be harmful to Ms. Jackson in any way. But I would just ask that the sentence, Your Honor, be more in line with the crime to which Ms. Jackson has admitted responsibility. She is working on taking care of these outstanding warrants. I want to address the elephant in the room, that what I believe to be an elephant in the room, that Ms. Jackson doesn't have a driver's license, but the evidence does show that she drove. So the probation department's recommendation that she take the driver improvement class, not drive without a license, that she get a driver's license. I mean, I don't know about the court ordering her to get a driver's license, but certainly we have no objection to any prohibition against driving without a driver's license. And once Ms. Jackson is able to take care of these monetary obligations in Farmington, I think that she'll be on her way. I think all that kind of stems from the same situation, that she'll be able to move toward getting a license. So certainly no driving without a license. I don't know about getting a driver's license. I would ask the court not to do any restitution at this time. Absolutely no objection to no contact between the parties. But I just ask that the sentence follow the charge.
If you're finding this story captivating, make sure.
There they go. Okay, cool. Channel name Dark Truth Uncovered, and I will link their video in my description box. I'm glad they put it in the middle. Okay.
To hit or support.
I might say something, Ms. Stevenson. I'm asking you, would Ms. Jackson like to make a statement on her own behalf?
I apologize for that, Your Honor. I believe that I didn't see it was that she was muted. I believe that Ms. Jackson would like to address the court. Ms. Jackson, if you could unmute at this time. Go ahead and unmute for us. There you go.
Good morning.
Good morning. And would you like to make a statement at this time, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Well, I apologize, Judge Bryant. I didn't mean to make you feel disrespected in any way. Me rolling my eyes or anything, I didn't mean for you to feel disrespected. On behalf of my case, Miss Darla, me and Miss Darla, she said we had a back and forth for a long period of time, but it wasn't actually me and Miss Darla having a back and forth. It was her and one of my siblings that she had a back and forth with. The only reason I went up to the gas station that day is because my youngest sibling had already gone to the gas station. Jamal, which is the one that she said that was Monique, the one that she said that was outside with me, but we were never outside together. I was already sitting in my car that day, and Monique just happened to come outside and walk to the gas station. Next thing I know, Miss Darla was walking to the gas station. Now they're the two that been having this ongoing battle back and forth. So I knew that it was going to be a problem at that gas station with them both being there. I only went to the gas station to get Monique in the car, and I wanted to talk to Darla that day. I wanted to talk to her to try to stop some of the drama that's been going on back and forth. That's it. Talking with her did not go well. She, well, I want to say she's not easy to talk to. So we started arguing. Me putting my hands on somebody. I'm in school trying to be a nurse. I also work two jobs and take care of another person for the state of Michigan. I don't have time to be out here catching cases or doing anything. Yes, I'm 40 years old. This the first time I ever been in any trouble like this. Yes, I do have tickets in Farmington that I need to take care of, but just getting in trouble and arguing and fighting with somebody out on the street, I do not do at all. Period. I just wish this never even escalated to this point to where I would have to go through this, but I did. Very, very much so a learning experience. But I never had no bad intentions toward Miss Darla. I always thought she had I know she had an issue with my family, but other than that, I mind my business. The only time she see me is when I'm going in and out the house to work, to school, back.
Okay, I'm gonna echo the sentiments that are coming up from Judge Bryant about this, and I'm like, you don't pull up to the gas station and want to talk to somebody about stuff going on in your neighborhood. You just leave them alone, go get your stuff, get out. So if you're doing all that extra and you see one of your family members there, I think you do feel like you can get a little more rah-rah. I feel like, so, of course, now it's time to make the intention sound not so bad because you're here for possible sentencing and things like that. So you're going to tone it down. But I do feel like she was on some mess. Maybe not to the point where she thought she'd get that riled up. Also, now that we watch so much body cam stuff, I feel like even once the police got there, she still wanted to prove her point and was probably shouting and yelling even once the police came. And that's why it was a lot of charges. And I think it just got down to disorderly conduct. But she had a lot of charges leading up to this. So, and Kim, I'm his hood thing now. He said, "Sorry, Miss Jackson. The judge is for real." Thank you for the super chat.
That's the only time she really has seen me. The most she ever talked to me is in the gas station that day. So her stating that it's been an ongoing and that I got tint on my car windows. My car is a fishbowl, Your Honor. You can see right through it. She knew I was sitting there. All that. It's not a car that has tinted windows. Period. So I don't know why she said that, but whatever. I don't. All I really want is peace. That's it. We stay right across the street from each other. When I walk on my porch, her motion lights to her camera go off. She's watching. She's good. She
See that right there knows that woman gets on your nerves. If she got motion lights every time you walk off on your porch, y'all do have problems, and you're not just not annoyed by her or whatever. Like, y'all do have problems if you're annoyed by her motion light going off so she can watch you, because that's the reason you think she has them. And I'm not saying she don't have them for that reason, because they both have a contentious relationship, but you do be annoyed by this woman.
even will step out soon as I step out sometimes. So I just want peace. I don't want no more drama after this. This has been life changing for me to have to go through this. I've never been in court so much in my life. So I just want peace after this. And not only have it's been me and my family, it's all the families around us. All the family down this block has issues and court issues with Miss Darla. but nobody is catching on to who the problem is. I just want peace after this. And that's all I have to say.
Ms. Ritter, can you address Ms. Stevenson's issue about the restitution? She said she didn't that your plea agreement did not include restitution.
Well, Judge, it was a recommendation based off of the information received from Ms. Benson. I don't have any receipts. I know that the restitution.
I'm saying, address to me why I would even order restitution on a disorderly disturbance case, and Ms. Stevenson said it wasn't a part of the proceeding. I mean, wasn't a part of the agreement.
Judge, just stated in the sentencing, there was a recommendation that was similar to the underlying assaultive charge in nature. So that's why the people recommended the restitution, if there was any, for any out-of-pocket medical expenses arising from the underlying charge.
But it's not allowed unless it's an agreement, isn't it? My question is more to what authority does this court have to order restitution on a disorderly disturbance case unless it was a part of a plea agreement? For a disorderly disturbance case, it's disorderly disturbance. I mean, so Ms. Stevenson is saying she didn't agree to any restitution as a part of this plea.
I understand, Judge, with the court and what Ms. Stevenson is saying. Again, Judge, that was part of the plea agreement for the recommendations.
I still don't understand what you're saying. You keep saying that was a part of the plea agreement, but it wasn't. You saying that's just the people's recommendation.
Correct, Judge.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm ready to impose sentence. Mr. Flanagan, I do apologize because, of course, you're aware that I am away from.
And here we go. Here's where the show really starts.
Excuse me, Judge, I don't want to interrupt.
No, ma'am, but you are, and this is inappropriate. Victims give victim impact statements, and that's it, and that's all. That's
She
it.
lying. I have a video that.
Ma'am, I would hate it. I would hate this to turn a different way. Victim give victim impact statements, and that's it. Now you all are gonna stop. You're not gonna hijack my courtroom ever. Except for the question that I asked at the very beginning, I let you make a statement. It's one of the longest victim impact statements that's been made on the record. And I let you make it because victims have a right to give a victim impact statement. And really, the giving of the victim impact statement in this situation was grace, because she is charged with disorderly disturbance. According to the Victims' Rights Act, there is no victim on the disorderly disturbance case. But I allow you to make a victim impact statement, and then you're going to interrupt and just hijack my courtroom. This is not appropriate. It's not appropriate. It's just not appropriate. Now I'm ready to impose sentence. Mr. Flanagan, I don't have the form with me, so it may not just be in the order that it normally would be in. All right.
Okay, before we continue, I'm gonna say thank you, Leia's Grandma Plus One, for your super chat. Some people don't know when to shut the F up, and she doesn't know. Even now, Judge Bryant kind of just yelled, but no consequences yet. You know, but they don't know when to stop.
So let me say, you know, again, and everyone knows I hate neighbor disputes, because I mean, when you go home, you're supposed to, that's, you know, when you have a hard day at work, when you meet something on the street, you know, strangers, when you encounter situations out and about, when you go home, that's supposed to be your place of rest. That's why domestic violence cases are so serious, and a child abuse case. I mean, children, when they go home, they should be safe. People in relationships, when I go home, I should be safe. But neighbor disputes, they, sometimes they baffle me because you never have to speak to your neighbor. Like, you never have to ever speak to your neighbor. Like, you literally never have to speak to your neighbor. You could pull in your driveway, or, depending on what side of town you live on, because some neighborhoods, some people don't have driveways. And then you just pull in front of your house and you park, and everybody should understand, like on the streets where there are no driveways, that you're not entitled to the parking space in front of your house. You just are not entitled to the parking space in front of your house. So you have to just park where you could park. And so when you have a neighbor dispute, I wish that mediation could work, because it's better for neighbors who have to live amongst each other to work things out, right? That's what's better. But obviously that doesn't occur in many situations, because of this docket. I've listened to everyone today. I've listened, despite the fact that it is something in the atmosphere that everybody that has come on here almost has been rude and disrespectful to me. And at a certain point, I'm 57 years old. So I'm 57 years old. And what I didn't do is go to law school, accept an appointment from Governor Granholm, run for election 2 times. I didn't do that and say, "Ooh, because I love being abused." And
she had a long day. She had a long day. It was too many in a row. But thank you, I'm His Hood Thing Found, for gifting a trendy membership. And Ty said thank you as well. So thank you on behalf of her and me, because I definitely appreciate it as well. Ty, I hope you enjoy the membership.
I love people to disrespect me. And I just want to get up every morning and go to a place where I'm abused and disrespected and mistreated. So it's just amazing to me. Many times, this is my first opportunity to even speak with the people involved in the case. Yet, I'm the person that, people take their frustrations out on. And I guess that is a part of the job. And I've listened to both of you, and both of you have been disrespectful today. I don't know, Ms. Stevenson, the defense made comments about not believing that the people would participate in this type of resolution if the evidence didn't show what Ms. Benson says. I don't know that. I don't know what the people's motives are. I don't know why the people make global resolutions. Many times cases are settled and I disagree. I disagree with the resolution, but that's not my business. That's somebody else's business. I don't know who Ms. Ritter.
All right, Miss Ritter getting worked up again. You can see her by my head, starting to shake her head. She don't like it. Just watch her. It's gonna escalate again.
Supervisor knows. That's not my business. I didn't see the video because it was a plea. That's not my business. I don't know. Nobody has shown me the video at this sentencing hearing. So I don't know what the video shows. I don't know who is telling the truth about the video, right? But what I know is that Ms. Jackson stands convicted of disorderly disturbance as a global resolution to cases that started out with felony charges and with a misdemeanor assault aggravated and misdemeanor assault and battery. That's the only thing I know. And then I know that she doesn't have any prior criminal history other than these cases where she keeps allegedly, because I don't know if they're post-conviction or pre-conviction, driving without a license. All right, so somebody is not being honest, because the two stories are opposite. That means when two stories are opposite, that means somebody is not being honest. Well, I can't figure out who's not being honest. This isn't a trial. We're not, ma'am, I need you to stop it. Now, the fact that you're still standing at the podium also. Like,
they have not shown any evidence. No, I'm not going to.
Oh, I'm gonna rewind for a second. Hold on, because y'all, here's the thing. I just realized Mr. Flanagan is messy too, because I think she was talking earlier, and Mr. Flanagan, who's in the physical courtroom, or he can control the Zoom, he had her muted because I saw her mouth moving. I couldn't hear her talking. Now he done unmuted this woman, so you can hear her voice. And I'm like, okay, Mr. Flanagan, you're a little messy for unmuting on this right now, but I went back so y'all could hear what she say.
And at the podium also. Like,
they have not shown any evidence. No, I'm not going to keep
okay, let me say this. Officer, take her into custody. So we're going to take her into custody right now. We're going to take her in. Officer, are
you here? I don't have to
not
stay
free to leave.
I don't.
She's not free to leave. She is not free to leave.
Here.
She is not free to leave.
Why
I am going to hold her in contempt of court for disrupting and interrupting my proceedings. I am holding you in contempt of court.
She's officially, because Judge Bryant will threaten it. She don't always do it. She's officially in contempt of court now.
For disrupting and interrupting my proceedings. She is going to have a seat in the jury box, and she is not free to leave. She is not free to leave.
I need my jacket.
No, you don't. She's going to sit in the jury box, and she is not free to leave. And if you disrupt my proceedings again, the sentence for the contempt is going to include Wayne County Jail. Do not disrupt my proceedings.
If you're still with us, make sure to
Okay, shout out to Dark Truth Uncovered again.
As I was saying, someone is not being honest, and I don't know who it is. But Miss Jackson, I can tell you get worked up too. So Miss Vincent gets all worked up and is rude and disrespectful, and then so are you. And that's probably why you all can't resolve whatever the neighborhood conflict is. I asked you to put your phone down, you rolled your eyes at me. I asked you to turn on to face the sun, or let's try to get, because you're in the dark, you was rolling your neck at me. But then when everybody wants,
so she fussing at both of them right now, because Miss Jackson, who she fussing at right now, then she gonna go back to Miss, was it Vincent? I can't remember who the other one is. I think I said I gave her a different last name earlier, but Judge is fussing at both of them. Both of them was giving her time today.
Talk to me when you want me to listen to you, when you want me to absorb everything you're saying, then you're nice and respectful. When I'm saying something that you don't like, you're rude and disrespectful. So help me, unpack that. I'm sure when you were in the gas station, nobody was talking nice and calm like either one of you were talking when you were talking to me uninterrupted. And so your body language says that I don't know why the people gave the resolution that they gave. I don't know. I have no idea why they dismissed the felony cases, why they dismissed it. It could be for a number of reasons, and it could be, if the witness is yelling at you and being rude and disrespectful. But I don't know what goes into their decision making. That's not for me to know. But Ms. Jackson, you came to my courtroom on the day of your sentencing and you were rude and disrespectful. And then everybody is expecting, you expect me to give, the probationary sentence. And let me say this, I learned, or I was very, I watch a lot of court TV, and a lot of times it's because I'm trying to learn things. I'm trying to learn certain things when I'm watching court TV, right? And there was a judge the other day that got attacked. There was a judge that got attacked. She was getting ready to impose sentence, and the defendant leapt all the way across the thing and leapt all the way across the bench, right? And then he tackled her down. They since charged the young man with attempted murder.
Now what? See, J28T, we both can't be having attention issues because I already got my own. They done added to it. I think she's sits that still, but that is a long time to hold that pose. Now I'm be staring at her to see when she move again. You know, but I'm paying attention. So I thought she was just moving, you know, not moving too much. Thanks a lot, J28T.
And if we were in person, if everybody was in person and not just Miss Vincent, I could see how this situation would have got out of control, and my courtroom would probably be full right now.
Okay, she's not frozen. I just saw her head go, just a little bit. She's not frozen, J28T.
With 2, 3, 4, and 5 officers, because there's not going to ever be a day. There's never going to be a day when I'm going to come to work and not be in charge of my courtroom. And you all have been disrespectful and unruly. But what I've learned from the judge, she went to the hospital. The young man almost looked like he was about broke her neck. She was probably very fortunate that when he landed on her, he didn't break her neck. But she came back 3 days later, 3 or 4 days later. And she was careful to make sure that everyone knew and that the record was clear that the sentence that she was getting ready to impose was the same sentence that she was going to impose before that young man attacked her. Now, I use the sentencing and what the victim says and what the defendant says to help me fashion a sentence that is appropriate. When probation gives me a pre-sentence report, it is a recommendation. It is a recommendation. When I hear from the victim, I take that into consideration. I took everything that Ms. Vincent said into consideration. Every single solitary thing. And I'm thinking, this is something, and Ms. Jackson must be a pickle. Until I told Ms. Vincent to stop talking because her turn was over.
I wonder how long her victim impact statement was. She says the longest on record for her, at least. Like, how long does this woman talk? Because it's I don't know what everything Miss Jackson did. She did take a plea, so you know there could be things obviously she did that's now is not going to be. That's not what the judge can consider because she took the plea deal. But I don't know. Miss Vincent strikes me as a tad dramatic. You know, this is all opinion based. It's the only video I've seen, but I get some drama coming from her.
And then, like night and day, Jekyll and Hyde. That switch was flipped. And had I been in person, it probably would have been a different situation. And then she didn't do it one time, she did it twice. So now all of a sudden I'm saying, uh-oh, maybe Miss Jackson, when she gave her calm statement. Now, Miss Jackson gave a calm statement after she had to be sent to the breakout room. She had to be admonished by the court. The problem with this neighborhood dispute, because both of you blaming the other person. This family, they family, this. Well, let me give you both of you a news flash. It's both of y'all. It's everybody involved in the situation. It's nobody has a calm mind to try to resolve conflict. It didn't even make sense that Miss Jackson said she went to that gas station, excuse me. She went to the gas station thinking that she wanted to talk to Miss Benson about, you know, the neighborhood. Don't come up to no gas station talking to me while I'm in line to get my items.
That was the point I was saying. She said it was in the future at the time that let's be reasonable. Don't walk up to somebody, bring up a topic that they just out doing their errands, and now you want to talk about something. Like, don't come up to me. I would be the same. Do not come up to me talking about something we might have an issue with. I'm at the gas station. I'm here on my personal time. This is not do not walk up on me with no crazy stuff. Hey, Auntie Natty.
That didn't even make sense. What made sense is that she saw whoever else she said was walking to that gas station, and she went to the gas station to confront Miss Benson. You know, I don't need help doing my job. So sometimes, you know, when people agree with me, they you know, they try to be the amen corner, they shaking their head and all of this, which is not appropriate in court. But as soon as I say something then that they don't agree with, that now you're rolling your eyes and blurting out in my courtroom like we at the zoo. Well, ma'am, we're not at the zoo. And Judge Bryant is presiding. And if Ms. Benson wanted to preside, Ms. Benson should have done the things necessary to preside. If Ms. Jackson wanted to preside, then Ms. Jackson should have done the things necessary to preside. You both have been unruly. So I don't know who's telling the truth. But I'm going to impose this following sentence. And again, what's going to happen is that people are going to stop bringing the prosecutor problems to me. I don't work for the prosecutor. I am a part of the judicial branch of government. If there's any person participating in these proceedings who do not know the separation of the branches of government, there is the legislative branch of government, there is the executive branch of government, and there is the judicial branch of government. And I am a part of the judicial branch of government. I don't work for Kim Worthy, and she does not work for me. Her attorneys do not work for me. I don't make any decisions about who's going to be charged, how they're going to be charged, and when they're going to be charged. I don't make any decisions about what the final charges are going to be unless I am serving in the capacity as the trier of fact. Unless I have ruled on a motion. So the displaced anger towards me, because the charges have been lowered, because we've gone from felonies and 1 year misdemeanors down to a disorderly conduct, that is not for the court. That's not my business. That's not my purview. I am going to impose the following sentence. There is a recommendation for 15 months probation, and I'm going to accept the recommendation, but let me tell you something, Ms. Jackson. We don't need angry nurses that's arguing and going up to gas stations and confronting neighbors. And being a nurse is a noble profession. The families that have to deal with nurses, the patients that have to deal with nurses, they're in a situation where they need people that have compassion. They need people that are able to help the family. I just lost a dear friend on yesterday, and she had some of the best nurses that I've ever met in my entire life. And I would be shocked if any of them engaged in behavior you have engaged in in my courtroom today, in the behavior that you're accused of engaging in at the gas station. So we're going to have to change some things. Court's going to set the probation for 15 months. And of course, if you violate the probation and I revoke your probation at some point, just please remember this. Probation is the alternative to jail. Jail is the alternative to probation. I'm currently giving you the alternative to jail. That's probation. If you don't do the probation, jail is the alternative to the probation. 15 months would be 12, 13, 14, 15, April the 10th, wait, what's today? The 12th. April the 11th, Friday, April the 11th. With the following conditions: you shall not violate any criminal law of any governmental unit. You must not leave the state of Michigan without consent of the court. You must report to probation on a monthly basis. And you must notify probation immediately of any change of your address, phone number, or employment status. You will pay the following fines, costs, and fees: $210 mandatory costs, $150 attorney's fee, no, that's not correct. I'm sorry. It's a 15-month probation. Whoops. 300. No, that ain't making sense. I'm doing that wrong. I'm sorry. 15 times. $525 in oversight fees at a rate of $35 per month. A $35 pre-sentence investigation fee. And I am going to order urinalysis once a month, so I'm going to add $150 urinalysis fees. That will be changed at the first review if I'm satisfied with the results. The total fines, costs, and fees. $1,070. Additionally, you shall not use or possess any illegal substances. You shall not use or possess any marijuana without a valid medical marijuana card. You shall not use or possess any opiates without a valid prescription and letter of explanation from the doctor. You shall attend and complete 24 weeks of anger management. You shall have no contact with Darla Vinson. You shall pay any outstanding tickets. According to this, she doesn't have any outstanding tickets. You don't have any at 36th District Court. You shall not drive without a valid license, if I didn't already say that. And according to this, your license is not valid. If you get a ticket for driving while you on probation to me, that's violating your probation. So I don't know how you're going to get.
I'm just sitting here thinking, because Teresa said my square like I was one of them, a rectangle like I was one of them. You know how much trouble I get into because my eyes and everything would be expressing everything, and she'd be like, "Ma'am, fix your face, fix your face, stop bucking your eyes."
Get around until you get a license, but you better not drive. And understand this: your neighbor gonna have a so Ms. Vincent is gonna have a video of you driving, and you just told me your car is a fishbowl. We can see right through it. So you need to go get your license, because driving without a license is a violation of the probation. I am going to order the marijuana insight program. You must clear up the warrants that you have in Farmington Hills, Farmington, Michigan. at 47th District Court. And then I'm going to set the matter for review. Before the halfway point. Let's go with a 4-month review, January, February, March, May. Let's come in May for review, and we're going to go May 10th for review. At 10.
I kind of want to clear my screen and take a screenshot like it's really me in the court, and then change my thumbnail to this. It's not gonna catch the eye as much, but I'm here for a good joke, so I feel like I might replace it. So I'm about to get a screenshot.
No, yes, at 10 a.m. You must report to probation on a monthly basis, or that's a violation of your probation. Anything further with respect to the sentencing? Because then I'm going to address the contempt of court. Anything further with respect to the sentencing?
Not from the people, Judge. Thank you.
Nothing on behalf of Ms. Jackson. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Jackson, we are going to mail a copy of this order to the Thornton Street address. Probation is going to contact you at the phone number ended in 2665. You're all set. Have a great day. Stay safe. I need Ms. Vincent at the podium. Ms. Vincent, I don't know if you've ever heard the words direct contempt, but I've held you in direct contempt of this court. You have been no, ma'am, absolutely no, ma'am.
Okay. I'm sorry.
And you keep on talking. You just keep talking. I mean, literally, you keep on talking. I have held you in direct contempt. You have disrupted my proceedings on 2 occasions. Not only did you disrupt the proceedings, when I asked you to stop, you kept going. You overtalked me. You were going to say what you were going to say, regardless of what I said. That is rude. It is disrespectful. And it is definitely contemptuous. Direct contempt means that you have committed contempt of court in the presence of the court and while court is in session. In case you're not aware, that is punishable by up to 93 days in the Wayne County Jail and up to $500 in fines plus costs, just like what Ms. Jackson was charged with. I don't know what's the situation or why your emotions are that high. And it most certainly would be a shame for Ms. Jackson to not go to jail for what she did to you, but for you to go to jail for what you did to me. Ma'am, if you ever show up in my courtroom ever again, you need to be appropriate. You need to be respectful, because I will lock you up. I will lock you up. So don't do that. I don't even understand it. And I kept asking you to be quiet. And you kept talking over me after I listened to you. After I let you say whatever you wanted to say. After I didn't interrupt you and say your victim impact statement is running too long. Ma'am, I let you talk. And then you just talked all over me and ran all over me. And then, but you wanted me to believe in that same way. You wanted me to believe that at the station, you were calm. You wanted me to believe that you're 55 years old or you're getting ready to be 55 and you don't have time for this. That's what you wanted me to believe. Now, it's hard for me to believe that when you combative and aggressive to the court, And we're literally live on YouTube and literally a multitude of witnesses. My officer is right there. My court clerk is right there. The attorneys are right here. I mean, you literally have a multitude of witnesses, and then you still are combative with the court. But you want me to believe that you were not combative with Ms. Jackson. You want me to believe that it was all Ms. Jackson. I'm going to, with respect to the contempt of court for Ms. Vincent, I'm going to go ahead and hold in abeyance 5 days in the Wayne County Jail. I'm going to hold it in abeyance. So let's be clear. She is in contempt of court. Court is going to hold in abeyance the 5 days in the Wayne County Jail that I would have given her. She's always, as a complaining witness, of course, free to attend any court proceedings. But ma'am, if you attend any court proceedings and you interrupt my proceedings, I'm going to take those 5 days out of abeyance. And you're going to go to jail for 5 days. Am I clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You may.
Okay. I apologize. The frustration was not with you. And I know that I had a chance to make my victim impact statement, but she just lied again. And I didn't know that.
You're not going to go over that. I'm not going to go over that, ma'am.
I didn't realize I was on mute. All I said was she needs to stop. She should have stopped at just saying, I apologize. She already said you talked too much to the point where she could have cut you off and she didn't. You got to stop. And the way you acted, it really definitely was towards the judge too. It was primarily towards the judge who made the decision or whatever, says the things out loud from the plea deal that was taken. Like, it was not, no, you can't take it back now. You was trying to walk out on the judge talking and everything. Right. No. She's still talking.
Victim impact statement is what it is. You make a statement and then you're done. That's it. That's all. It's nothing else. You don't get to rebut what the defendant said. This is her case. She is the defendant. I'm not going to go back over that with you. And then you said your frustration wasn't directed at me. Oh, yes, it was. Yes, it was. You said you ain't listening to my evidence. You ain't doing this. Yes, it was directed directly, ma'am. It was directed directly to me. That's like me yelling at my kids and whooping my kids, or whipping down my kids and then saying, well, I'm not mad at y'all. I'm mad at your daddy. Well, then why you in here talking to me? That's what I would say if I was the child.
You better break down the analogy, Judge Bryant, because that's exactly what it was. No. You can't do that. You can't say you're not listening to me. Oh, I didn't mean you, Judge Bryant. Who else not listening to you then?
Then why you yelling at me? Then why you raising your voice at me? Then why don't you stop talking when I'm saying stop talking? Okay, I accept your apology. I'm going to not impose the 5 days today. I'm going to hold the 5 days in abeyance. And if you choose to come back, you can. If you don't, you don't have to. And then any other issues with respect to the case and the charging, you can take those up with the prosecutor's office. Have a great day and stay.
He over there smirking because, one, he knows Judge Bryant's isms. He knows how she gets. And every time probably that woman try to talk, he probably like, girl, please don't say nothing else. Like, he knows how this goes. That's why I think he's smirking. Right. Look, she about to talk again. She's about to try to say something again. That's what... if she was the victim, she gave her whole, which we didn't see it, but she gave her victim impact statement. That's the right you get. After that, you're not the. This is not a trial. Just holding that 5 days because she knows she gonna act up again. Yeah. She cussing her out. She done called somebody that know Miss Jackson and like, that B, she took a plea deal, and then the other B, Judge Bryant, wouldn't let me get out what I had to say, and she just gonna let that B lie. That's how it's going down in her car. Oh, that's how it's going down. She not learning nothing. She mad. That's why it's important to stay in school. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Stay safe. Have a great day and stay safe. Have a great day and stay safe. Officers, we're all set.
She's still kind of talking. She's still saying something.
And y'all need to mute the courtroom, because if she says something going out, she's gonna get those 5 days.
She ready to put that woman in jail. She's still getting a grace by it being held in abeyance, but that woman want to go to jail.
This wasn't just a.
Okay, better be glad she in a car and not behind that glass. Woo, y'all. Okay, let me tell you what I think I would get in trouble with Judge Bryant for, and y'all let me know what y'all would think y'all would get in trouble with Judge Bryant for. If you were in Zoom court, I would get in trouble because she would be like, "What's so funny?" That because most of the time I have a resting smiling face instead of the other way. Like I still can have the other resting faces, but I have a resting smiling face a lot of times. My expressions don't get fixed quickly, so if something shocks me, the shock is coming on my face. So I definitely feel like I would get in trouble for like she's thinking I'm taking something as a joke, but I'm probably like in my head, "You go, Judge Bryant," but she probably gonna think I'm mocking the court. So that's what I would get in trouble for. Like it ain't funny. Don't say that until you get in the car. Gigi said my face needs deliverance. Teresa said she get in trouble for gesturing. Jail said I have resting B face and everything shows. Oh, Veronica, that's my other one. A lot of times if you see my camera go off like this, girl, I'm yawning. I could yawn through, and I don't even be bored. I'm a yawn. Yeah, Veronica, I probably get in trouble for that one before the smiling one. I yawn. Lovable Scorpion said my mouth. Cause you'll get in trouble even if you're on mute. And we've seen them. She'll be like, "Let the record reflect that Miss Lovable Scorpion is trying to talk over me, and the only reason it's not being captured is because I have muted her." That's what she would say. And you be over there just and like, "You are on mute. I will hold you in contempt." Those other ladies know her, and that's why they sitting up there like zombies. Yes, the prosecution and defense, they just sit there. And poor Miss Stevenson, when she got to defend somebody that had already pissed Judge Bryant off. Kim, you would get in trouble for rolling your eyes. Like, "We can't hear you, but I know you're yelling at me. Do not yell at me. Let the record reflect that Miss Lovable Scorpion is still yelling. She's on mute, so you can't hear it, but you can see it. I need the record to reflect that she is still yelling." Sometimes people just like to hate too. Yeah, that's true, Jam. That is true. Okay, y'all. I gotta go see if I can still catch my niece and check on her for the night. I hope y'all have a great, great night. They need to make a mute button for real life situations. Yes. If we could get that. Judge Simpson would have sent that Mr. Allen. I always catch Judge Simpson when he being lenient. I don't catch him when he be getting strict. Every time I see it, I'm like, "Dang, Judge, you letting that one slide too?" So many were raised by wolves, though, so don't know how to behave in various settings. They always hurt themselves. They always do. All right, y'all. Have a good night. I will possibly see you tomorrow. Members, I have a members first thing coming out for y'all tonight because I'm already done uploading it. I just got to add my little description and everything. It's quick. It's just one of my just other content I wanted to do, so y'all will have it as members first. Bye, Teresa, Leia's grandma +1, Kim J. She is tough and she does mean business. Check the cases with the one lawyer that tries him regularly. Okay. Y'all let me know. I'll see if I can find some. All right, y'all. Talk to you later.